Sweet, sweet Jamaica. Have you ever considered migrating to the mystical island of Jamaica? Join me, Michelle Moore, and special guests as we explore the world of Jamaica with those at home in Jamaica and those away in the diaspora, right here on the Home and Away Show. Hi, and thank you for joining us on this week's show. We will be speaking to Peter Ezechie, originally from Nigeria and recently migrated to Jamaica with his wife and 2 kids. So, Peter, how long have you been there?
I've been there now since April 2014.
Okay, pretty new. What was it like sort of wrapping up everything, getting everything ready for you guys to go over to Jamaica? And how many months in advance did you have to prepare?
We made the decision about early 2013. Mm-hmm. So we started putting things in place, looking in terms on the internet what the school fees were and comparing it to the fees in the UK. Mm-hmm. And also we knew that obviously we had to also sustain ourselves in Jamaica for maybe 12 months until we actually get acclimatized ourselves and decide in terms of what line of business that we wanted to do, really. So, and then it was the shipping of the stuff and choosing the right shippers, getting all the documents ready for the customs and exile in the Caribbean. So we've done a lot of groundwork in terms of that and prepared ourselves really well. We chose a shipping company. I mean, they were okay. They came, took a lot of our furniture into storage. We then moved out of our premises and were renting for about 6 months in the UK whilst the new furniture were being shipped to the Caribbean. And it was a smooth transition. My wife came initially and she'd done everything herself. I don't know how she'd done it, but she found the place, got the place decorated and got all the furniture assembled and everything in place. So when we came a month later, or it was a month or 6 weeks later, everything was done for us. So, for me, that part was really amazing, So I take my hat off to her because it was not an easy task because she had to clear the stuff in the wharf and check all the stuff was okay. Deal with customs in Jamaica, which is not easy, but for her it was quite easy because she was coming back as a returning resident, and a lot of people come back as returning residents because they want to pay less tax, so they really do dig you out, and really ask you a lot of probing questions and stuff like that. But it was I think we were just lucky. It was just maybe it was the right move and everything was just going really, really smoothly for us, which is at the moment, touch wood, basically.
It sounds it, because it's one thing when you're doing it as an individual or a couple, but as a family, naturally anybody would think that would be such a task. But wow, you sound like you have an amazing wife that should come in and got everything going.
Yeah, we had everything was there. The TVs were up, the internet was working, so we came into a house like it was, I think the way we planned to do it was to do it house to house. So there's not really a lot of difference with the children. So it makes the transition for them really easy. So it was like all the clothes were set up, their wardrobes were there, their beds were set up, the sheets were, so it was just from home to home. It was coming off the plane and just going into your house immediately. It's like a new house, but everything has been set up for you, Yeah. So I think that was really easy for them. And we just started enjoying Jamaica. We traveled a lot. We went to the North Coast, Ochi, Montego Bay, Falmouth. We just traveled a lot on the North Coast because we were here for about 3 months and just, kind of getting everyone climatized to the weather and so forth. But, we enjoy Jamaica. We still enjoy Jamaica,
So your wife was born in Jamaica. How often had the girls visited Jamaica, if they did at all?
No, in 2007, we came to Jamaica for 6 months initially. And at that time, my wife was pregnant and she had an early pregnancy. And then Kenya was born in Jamaica. My youngest one was born in Jamaica. Oh. So because of it was a premature pregnancy, we ended up staying in Jamaica for 1.5 years. So it was meant to be a short holiday just before she had the baby, but the baby came about 5 months early. Wow. 5 months early. So we then were we had to stay in Jamaica because like she was a very, very small premature baby.
Yeah.
We were at UE Hospital in Mona, and it just happened. Like it was weird because it was like we were meant to be here, but we had not planned it. So it was just from a 2 or 3 months holiday we decided to go on and then go back to the UK. We ended up staying about 2 years in Jamaica, and it wasn't something that was planned. It was something that just happened basically. But and then my little daughter started going to school here. The oldest one, Kiara, whilst we were here for a year, and then we went back to the UK. But going back to the UK, we realised that we actually missed Jamaica.
So what is it that you love? What is it that drew you to the Jamaican lifestyle now? Why you decided to live there?
Outdoor life. You tend to find that we live in a gated community. There's about 16 townhouses. There's a swimming pool, and there's lots of green parks where children can play. And there's lots of children in the community, similar age groups of our children. So it's nice to know that they can knock on the door. The kids ride up and down in the gated community. They go and play with other children. They can go swimming with an adult or someone assisting them. So it's a nice community. They have like Halloween where the kids will go out and knock on the doors in the 16 houses, and everyone will have the different types of sweets and fruits. So it's a very nice, close community. I mean, at Christmas we had a pixie day on the 16th of December for just children in the 16 townhouses. So it's just a nice feeling that we've chosen a nice place where the people are nice and they have children in similar age groups. And, the kids just enjoy it because they weren't riding before and they can ride now, so there's lots of different things that when you're in the UK, you stay at home a lot. And, I've never known, where we lived in the UK was nice, but I couldn't let the kids out just to go and play in the area or in the vicinity because, you're worried about different things could happen to them and so forth. But I suppose it's different because we are in a gated community and they cannot obviously leave the gate basically, but in the complex it's very, very safe.
And there's lots of activities, like you said, the outdoor life, adventure for the kids, especially growing up at that young age. They want to be outdoors, they want to be mingling with other kids.
I mean, they were going swimming in the UK in their school once a week, but there was no progression really. But I think when you're seeing other children do things, then you want to do it. And I think there was more of a pressure because it was like, what, we have a swimming pool outside, we can go swimming when we want. The other kids always knock on the door and they swim and they play games like Marco Polo and all different things in the pool. And if you're not able to swim, then you're not able to enjoy the water basically. So I think that was forced upon them, and they started playing tennis as well. There's lots of different activities like during the summer term or Christmas term or Easter term. There's camps for children. You have tennis camps, swimming camps, you have golf camps, you have horse riding camps. So there's lots of different activities. Whilst when you're in the UK, it's very difficult because during the summer, if you haven't got the money to take your children to Europe or abroad, then it's very hard to find activities in the UK for them. But in Jamaica, you could take them to tennis camp from 9 o'clock till 12, and after tennis camp, you could then take them from 2 o'clock till 3:30 to a swimming camp, and there's lots of different camps available for the children, really. So your sport for choice is just choosing which one your child wants to go to, really.
Lots of choice by the sounds of it.
Yeah, lots of choice.
And there's the same amount of hours in the day, but there's something about Jamaica that feels like you've got extended hours because the sun's out longer. You get more sunlight hours in the daytime because there's more sunshine. So you can fit all these activities in. It's amazing to have so much choice as well. Yeah,
and they love it. I mean, we're going to the beach shortly, eat some fish and just chill out there till probably 5 o'clock. Swim in the sea, and just kick back, really. Just really kick back. And, we went, in the UK, my children always loved the beaches. We used to either go to Eastbourne or Bournemouth, which were sandy beaches, but then obviously you had to wait for the weather to be hot enough to enjoy it, basically, But I think that, all in all, I think that my children, they're outdoor children anyway, and they love to see. So in terms of the move, I think the move was something that we had to do. And I find that, it's when you go to countries like Jamaica or, Nigeria or whatever, you tend to find that a lot of people are they're coming out because they think they can't survive. But they'll eventually find that when they try to come back, that the prices of stuff will be a lot more expensive and so forth,
Right.
But for me, it's just nice and relaxing. It's not expensive. If you drive out, when you drive out, the scenery is nice. We can drive to the country, pick up breadfruit, oranges, star apples. It's nice yam. It's just nice, It's just nice.
Just nice. Jamaica's nice.
Jamaica's very nice. Yeah.
But a lot of people are worried about, especially thinking about taking a family from wherever they are to Jamaica. It's that whole survival. What are they going to do for work? How easy is it to find work? I mean, where do you start in terms of looking for work to generate an income, especially not having any networks, not having any contacts? What would you advise? What did you do?
I've always worked for myself anyway, me and my wife. So in the UK, I still have a business going in the UK that I still generate an income because my business is mostly internet based. But what I've set up in Jamaica is I looked at the whole infrastructure and I said, well, look, I'm from the UK. A lot of people, if you think there's about 6 or 7 flights that come in every day from the UK to Jamaica, and they're always full. So I looked at it in depth and I said, well, look, if I set up a company that could service the people coming off that flight, and if I get 5 or 10 people off a 250 flight or 20 people, I'm happy. So we set up a company called www.accessmyjamaica.com. Now, what the company does, if people are coming for short-term lets, car rental, they need mortgages, they need nanny services, or they've got a property in Jamaica where they need someone to help project manage the build in terms of the construction or whatever. We supply all those services basically. So, and this Christmas was very good for us in the business. That we had about 20 people coming into the island, some in Montego Bay and some in Kingston, and we're able to give them the service of somewhere nice to stay, safe as well. Offer them a service if they wanted a helper service, if they wanted, they can have their breakfast cooked in the morning, the place cleaned. So it's the same service as they'll probably get in a hotel. It's a bit cheaper, but it's a bit personal because it's their place. They can, go out, come in when they want, and and able to see the proper Jamaica, basically,
right.
As opposed to staying there with, with other tourists. Because for a lot of people, it's coming from home to home. Because a lot of them are, they might have Jamaican origin, so they don't really know. They don't feel the right Jamaica. I mean, I'm not Jamaican. But I do know a lot about Jamaica, basically, but, because of my wife and the times that I've been in and out of Jamaica.
A lot of people will be listening and thinking, yes, it's easy to say that you've done it, but where do you start? A lot of people are stuck on the first step. Coming from somewhere where you haven't got the experience of knowing how people work and what the environment's like, where would you suggest people start?
Well, initially how I started, I said, look, I'm not too familiar with how they do business in Jamaica. So I said, look, I stayed in touch doing a business that I understand and I know, which when I looked at it and the concept of accessmyjamaica.com, I looked and I thought, well, people who come from the UK, they're going to need a service like this, because you tend to find that, when you come to Jamaica, you have to climatize yourself and also the way you do business, because there's some things in Jamaica that can be done really quickly, and there's some things that might take longer, because in the UK, certain things can be done very, very quickly, and there's, we're used to how things are done in the UK. So when you come to Jamaica, I think you have to have the mindset to climatize yourself and understand that something that might take a day or 20 minutes in the UK, it could take a day or 2 days in Jamaica, And I socialize a lot. I go to lots of bars and some restaurants, and I always see there's lots of foreigners in the Caribbean. So it then shows to you that Jamaica is a growing society, and for me, I want to be involved in a society where I want to be involved in business where I'm comfortable, you know, my wife, my family's comfortable, and my children are happy as well. Because in the UK, I was always working 24/7, and I never had time to it's hard to get that balance, because it seems that every time you're working for bills, basically, you know. So it's hard to get that balance. I mean, even in Jamaica, if things are quiet for you, you can just go to the beach and relax. And there's some beaches you pay. There's some beaches there's Hellshire where it's free, and there's a beach called Fort Kleins. But if you turn a right onto Fort Kleins, there's a row of beaches on the right there, which is as nice as well as Fort Kleins, and it's free. So you can actually go there, take your packed lunch if you wanted to. If you want to, you can enjoy the fish and the lobster and just go and relax the whole day, really.
You feel like you get more out of life, and it's not just sort of work. So, you know, you can take the stress and that pressure off by diverting your attention to some of the natural qualities of life or whatever Jamaica has to offer that you like. Absolutely. And for me, I'm more relaxed, and, you know, I enjoy my family more since I've been here, because work is not really... life is not that stressful. It's more relaxing, because they have a saying in Jamaica where Jamaica's no problem. You know? And I feel that when the British people come, they can get frustrated a bit, but then you have to climatize yourself. You're right. If you have the balance right, you can really. It's a win-win situation, isn't it? Because it just really feels like you work hard, and but at the same time, there's no stress. So I don't feel any stress. It's completely different. A way of life. It really, really is a completely different way of life. You know, you can switch off and maintain that balance, that work-life balance. Of course. I mean, I like music anyway. So, you know, you're here on the island where it's 80% of the business is tourism. We've also got a lot of music and entertainment. It's an entertainment society. And when they do functions, I've been to functions in the UK, and they just can't touch what the functions you can go to in Jamaica. Yeah. I mean, they have lots of functions over Christmas. They have lots of functions over New Year's. They have functions on New Year's Day. You know, I've been out in the UK, and there's sometimes a bit of violence, there's a bit of this, but I feel totally safe in Jamaica, you know. And for my children as well, you know, for me, it's important that they feel that way. I mean, I don't know, now in the UK, you might get on a bus, and if a 16-year-old is just cursing, a lot of people they ignore it, you know. They'll just ignore it, because they won't feel to say, oh, look, you know, there's children on here, watch your language, because they're worried how the teenager will react, basically. So I just find that sometimes the way that society is moving in the UK, we're losing certain values, you know. And the thing that's bizarre, in Jamaica in the morning, they'll play the national anthem, and the kids will recite the pledge. You know, even I went to my child's Christmas play, and I was sitting there, and they said, could you stand up for the Jamaican national anthem? I mean, that's something that they don't do in the UK. Do you understand? And I was thinking, wow, this is strange. Then we went to a gymnastic tournament, and they said, would you stand for the national anthem? So it just shows that there's an era of belonging here, you know? And I think there was one day, 3 months ago, all the schools in Kingston went out, and they were cleaning the beaches and the road on Airport Road. So it's like clean up your Jamaica, and a lot of people turned out. And I don't know, I've never seen that in the UK. Do you understand? I've never really seen that in the UK, where they come out and they look and they think, you know, just tidy up your Jamaica, you know. So they're trying to move forward, you know, and you get a sense of belonging. You get a sense of this is home. It's like home to home, but this feels more like home. Do you understand? Yeah, I totally understand you. And it's just little things, you know. The kids go somewhere, people say good morning, they say good afternoon. Guarantee you go on the tube tomorrow in the morning, and you say to anyone, man or woman, good morning. They think, what's the matter? Yeah, and they look at you like you're the mad one. Do you understand? Yeah, they look at you and think, are you okay? Or you might say good afternoon. Or you go into an office building and you say, good morning, everybody. Or they're going to think, what's the matter with you? Yeah. You know, I went into the lift with a couple of people and I said, good morning. It just felt like I couldn't say good morning, because I've been living in Jamaica for a while now, and it's just second nature. And I just thought, we're sharing the same space. We're going to the same floor. And, you know, we're living among one another. And I just said good morning. And they were so reluctant to say good morning back. And it just reminded me of where I am. They don't understand. It's very strange. I mean, so
You know, for me, it's going to an office, even a doctor's surgery, anywhere. Say good morning, good evening, good afternoon. They just don't do that. You know, it's like, you know, they just come in and just do their thing and they just disappear. Yeah. If it doesn't affect them, they're not interested. So you tend to like live in your own bubble, basically.
So let's talk about the girls in terms of getting them into school and that whole transition, because that's not an easy task. How old are they? They're pretty young, aren't they?
9 and 7.
So both in primary school in the UK?
Both in primary school, yes. Yeah.
So how was it leaving their friends and telling their friends they're going to live in Jamaica? What did they say that was like?
Near the time, I think they were pretty much very much sad. And, you know, the day we're leaving, you know, the teachers were very sad because, you know, my girls there were a lot of people, the teachers and everyone got on with them at school, and they were all saying it's a pleasure to be there, and they had a lot of friends as well. So it was sad for them in the initial stages, but then when we arrived and we got on the plane, you know, we came to Jamaica, the transition was very good, but they still contact their friends via, you know, our phones on WhatsApp or whatever. They might interact with them every 2 weeks. It was every day initially, then it started dwindling down because they've made new friends, you know?
Right.
And they were showing pictures of what they were doing. And I think, you know, what they realize is that they do more here than in the UK, you know?
More activity.
You know, yeah, there's more activities, and even if you don't feel to go out, they can actually get up and go riding in the block, and you know, in the gate community, or they can go swimming. So they know that the life is totally different. You know, it's totally different. And we had some friends over here from UK at Christmas, and parents have gone back now thinking that they want to come home. Yeah. They want to have that transition, do this move. You know, so they're trying to sort of work of something, how they can, it benefits them from living here with their children, because they can see that you're more relaxed and more freer, you know, they feel a more freer, even though Jamaica, they say it's rough, but anywhere in the world is rough, really. And, you know, one has to be careful, and I think the most thing that's paramount is safety for your kids, and my kids feel safe. You know, they don't feel like, oh, Dad, I can't do this. They just feel really safe. They go outside. Sometimes I look for them in the morning. I think, where are they? They're going to talk to the security guard, or they're going out riding up and down the road in the gated development, and everyone knows them. You know, everyone knows them. So I feel that we were lucky because, you know, anyone who's going to do that transition, it's good to come over first, even if it's by one of the parents or whatever, to come over first to look, see where you're living. Is very important, because you might be in an area where there's just hardly any children. So you don't want people to think, oh gosh, you know, it'd be hard for your kids to actually go out, play, or other people might be thinking, you know, oh God, there's too much noise or whatever. But it's important to choose the right location for your children to live. Right. You know, and you know, and we've been, I'd say blessed, because I would say blessed because, you know, we've been very lucky in terms of our choices and of where we're living, and the friendly people. They're so friendly, you know. People are very friendly. And
what about choosing the right school? How was that decision made? And where did you get your information source to compare the right school for your children?
We went online. We looked at because they do GSATs in Jamaica. We looked at the GSAT stats, and then we also went to the schools. So the schools will entertain you. My wife looked around. She spoke to them, spoke to the teachers. She was able to speak to some of the pupils as well. And, you know, and from her decision, we said, you know what, there was a choice of Immaculate, Peter and Paul, and Hillel. But, I don't know, Hillel seemed to tick all the boxes for us, basically, because what it then had, it has a lot of overseas children, right. You know, a lot of diplomat children, British children, American children, Indian, so that there was a great mix of all of the children. So I think that in itself made the transition even more easier right. for them, you know, made the transition even more easier for them, you know, and, you know, it's but still, they can actually, they still were able to sort of see, you're able to see the grassroots of Jamaica anyway. Because I mean, today we're meant to be going to a children's home in Maxfield Avenue. Okay. Yeah, just because we bought some gifts and some clothes we want to give them as well. So they're able to see two sides of the coin, basically, you know, see what it's like living in a home. And because we like to bring up our children where there's reality there as well, you know, because my two are always saying to me and my wife, where they want us to adopt another child, because you know what they see on TV when they see the the orphans abroad in Africa or any part of Syria or anywhere in the world, it hits them. So we've said today we're going to go to Maxwell Avenue to look at this children's home and just see exactly, just to be real and see what's happening and how we can help, basically.
Amazing.
You know?
So what do you think this move has done in terms of development and growth for your children, as well as your family, but in terms of child development, especially at the prime ages that they're at and what you're exposing them to and the adventures that they're being able to embark on? How do you think all of this is going to change or develop their upbringing?
It's made them grow, because now they're able to do things that whereby in the UK it's very hard to, because they might go swimming once a week in the UK, but you're not able to sort of like, it's like doing homework. If they do homework at home, and you can help them assist at school, but the swimming pool now, they swim at school, and you come home and they've got to go wait for another week to go swimming. But they're lucky because they have a pool, so they're able to grow in terms of that. I mean, even in the school, they were getting homework every day, and a lot of homework. When we first came here, I think it was very hard for them because they weren't used to that volumes of homework, So again, they had to adapt to that and know that if they wanted to do extra activities, they had to do their homework, because the school has a no tolerance about homework, and it's not homework where they give you today and it's got to be back in 2 days. It's everyday homework. Next day's got to be in. So it grows them to know that they come in, they do the activities, they sit down, do their homework, and they're able to go out, swim, and do whatever. So it's changed them. And I think it's made my children more independent as well.
Are you seeing these changes already?
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, in terms of the swimming, in terms of how independent they are, and even though we have assistants in the house and things, my children, they like to cook their own food under supervision. Basically, they know what they want. They'll make their breakfast, make their cereal, and and they know if they want to do something, the homework's got to be done, and so forth. So they still hold on to certain values that we have. And the whole, I don't know, I just believe if you can do it, because it grows your child in different ways.
Amazing.
It grows your child in
so
different
when your
ways.
children get older, say at the age for university, would you advise them to go back to the UK for uni, or would you encourage them to stay in Jamaica?
My wife wants them to go to
America?
Harvard.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one. I mean, for me, when I look in life, is we can go anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You're free to go anywhere in the world, not destined to be anywhere. I mean, and we like to travel, and I think by traveling and seeing different cultures, you educate your children, and find out in terms of what they want to do. If they want to go back to UK to do their degree, they're more than happy to do so.
Has there been anything that you've been majorly shocked by in terms of your expectations of Jamaica?
Well, one thing is that when I first came, people find it very difficult to understand us. But I don't know if it's because the British accent, they might think they speak fast or whatever.
Yeah.
They just don't understand you. And I think they still don't. They just think, I don't know, they look at you and think, they probably expect you to talk Jamaican.
Yeah.
Or I think they more understand Americans and Jamaicans than when you speak. When you speak, obviously I'm British, but I speak my British accent. They look at me and think, "Oh God, what do you say?" It's like the understanding was difficult, and even the kids are finding that. But more and more and more, then we're starting to understand each other because we're still speaking English,
Yeah.
But I find that sometimes they couldn't understand me. What do you say?
Yeah.
And and it was just. But now I just speak. If they don't understand, I say, look, I want a number 5 in Kentucky or whatever. I want a number 6.
Yeah, go by numbers. It's easier.
Yeah. And, but you just find that certain people just couldn't understand you.
I found the same. Even to now, it's crazy, really.
Yeah. You go and make an order in a drive-through, it could take me a while.
Yeah.
They don't understand me. So, initially it was annoying, but I just find it amusing. I mean, a prime example, I went to put in some fuel in my car, and I told the guy 3,000. I don't know, he put in 6,000. I don't know, and we're there in the petrol station, and I don't understand you, and I'm thinking, but I'm speaking English, So, it's funny on that aspect because, but they just don't understand English. I don't know. They don't understand the English accent. I think it's really, but not all of them. But it's not all of them. It's not all of them. It's the ones who are used to, I think probably it's the ones who speak patois or whatever, but you tend to find others, they're used to it because they're used to sort of foreign people and interactive people. I don't know. But at first, even my wife was quite shocked, thinking she didn't understand it, because we're still speaking the same English, but they just don't understand. It's just
how's your patois coming on? Why?
I don't dare.
Too hard?
No, I don't know. Do you know what it is? Jamaica is a very, very, it's a very, how can I put it? It's a class system here. It's a serious class system here. The Jamaicans are serious. It's like snobs, There's the uptown people who just move within their realms of uptown,
Right.
And there's uptown. There's two classes. There is three. I'd say
there's three because I really thought it was uptown and downtown, and that's it.
There is, but then you have like the middle kind of class that comes in where these are the people who work in the banks, and I think there is really a two-tier system. But in between, you've got the ones who are working either banks or Digicel or whatever, who are trying to aspire to be at that top end. But it's sad because they're the rich really, they've got yachts, they've got helicopters, the mad lifestyle, It's a crazy lifestyle they live. But they do live a nice life, They do live a nice life. And I think that the life that I want to live as well, it was very difficult for me in the UK, And it's not easy to live that life in the UK. It's not easy to do it in Jamaica, but you have to have your head screwed on and, and know what you're doing, basically, And know who you're moving with as well. Because you can be moving with the wrong people. And, the thing about Jamaica, everyone can do something. So if you're not hitting with the right people, you just be wasting a lot of time, a lot of money, and you just think, oh, God, where am I going? But Jamaica is small. So if you want to hit the right person, you can hit the right person. It's not like the UK where you're not going to go and see the owner of Microsoft or the owner of T-Mobile or the owner of Man United Football Club. But in Jamaica, you will see them. Do you understand? Because if you go to the right places, you'll meet these people, and they will converse with you. And, it's a friend of mine calls it bar talk. You can meet people in Jamaica by going to the correct places and moving in the right circles. So you do what you can do. You start where you need to start. And, for me, what my advice to people would be is I choose to sponsor one child because in Jamaica there's serious poverty. So if you can make a difference with one person, sponsor one person who's finding it difficult to pay their school fees, buy their book. If you sponsor one child, it can make a difference. It can make a difference. You can see something, because otherwise, when I was here, I was thinking, I said to my wife, I'm giving $100 here, 200 here, 100 here, 50 here. But if you just stop that and concentrate on one person, you can make a difference. And trying to make a difference to everything. Do you understand?
Trying to help everybody that you come across every day. It's a bit.
Yeah, just concentrate on one person. And if everyone does that, who has it, who is able to do that, can make a difference.
Do you think more and more people are deciding to come and live in Jamaica?
I don't know. Since I've been here, I think about 6 people want to do that move. Because I think initially, when they used to come, they used to visit with maybe family members. And it's weird because, as I said, Jamaica is a class system. And I think you talking your British accent, you get more opportunity than someone who's a Jamaican. Just
because of the accent.
You can see that, and
why is that though? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. It's just really strange. It's just really bizarre. It's just the way it is, and I don't know. It's just the way. It's the way the system is. It's the way that the people look at stuff. Because I probably think they look at you and they think foreign is better. I don't know why they have that concept, but they have that concept. Again, when we're going to the monetary aspect, remember there's 2 rates in Jamaica. There's the foreign rate and there's the local rate. Do you understand? So again, when you have to sort of explain the fact, they'll know that when they still classify me as a foreigner, but I'm familiar with the rates, so I know exactly what I should be paying. Do you understand? So, but apart from that, I just find things will be a lot easier for me here in terms of in the UK, because I mean, I've only been here a short while, and you know, in January some of my stuff will be airing on Flow TV. I couldn't do it in the UK. That's what I said. It's very good. You need to climatize yourself because it's life changing. You know, it
just opens your mind and all these opportunities, and your mind just starts to go in different places that you never imagined.
Absolutely. Some days I take a day off just to relax and chill, and you know, and just think and meditate. I'll go to the beach. I'll drop the kids off at maybe 7:30 for school. I'll just drive straight to the beach, chill out the whole day till about 1 in the afternoon, and from about that time till about 11, 12, I'm the only person there.
Wow.
And I look around and I think, wow, if anyone can see where I am now, it's crazy. And I'm able to put down, you know, write down what I feel I should do, and that's me getting in. I couldn't do that in the UK.
Amazing.
You know? I couldn't do that in the UK because if I drove to the beach at 7:30 today, I don't know what the weather's like, but you know, I'd probably be cold, and you understand.
Very high chance of that, definitely. So those people that have got lots of negative things to say about Jamaica, what would you like to say to them?
I mean, even before we came, a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's very violent. It's this, it's that." And even one of my friends who's here at the moment, her sister was in Montego Bay, and she said, "Oh, she was going to stay in Kingston." And the sister said, "Are you sure? It's very unsafe there." You hear negative things about everything, but I think sometimes when you hear negative things about something, you then have to investigate it yourself, because otherwise you just be limited. It's like, you know, for me, I mean, I don't like violence. I don't like living in an area where I feel unsafe. But I don't feel that. I feel more safe in Jamaica than I do.
Wow, that's a big statement. It really is.
Yeah, and for me, I just feel, you know, I know that if my kids went out here, I know that they're comfortable and they're okay, because they look after children here. They have the thing even when children cross the road without a zebra crossing, they give them way. Do you understand? Yeah. So it's a thing whereby they take time and they look after people. They watch people, you know, and you know, I mean, I feel safe here. My children feel safe here. We're all safe here. If it wasn't the case, I would never be here. So, you know, for me, Jamaica is a place where I'd say to people, if you have the opportunity, to take it. Because remember, our parents came here in the 60s when the independence was here, and they could go. They would bring them from Jamaica to the UK, so they could build a better future to go back. But a lot of people have built their life now in the UK. That they're now Afro-Caribbeans in the UK, and you kind of lost identification of where you are. Do you understand? Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I speak to a lot of older people, and they say things like, if they bury themselves, they'll have to bury themselves in the UK, because they've built themselves up now in the UK with all their family. So I speak to people in Jamaica, say, I've got family in Britain, I don't know who they are, I don't know where they're living. So it's sad, because remember, you have to come back and reclaim your country. It's your country. So if you have the opportunity, then you come back and you make a difference. You have to come back and make a difference.
Shine that light, and hopefully other people will want to do the same.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, opportunity, safe, and whatever, I say, come, enjoy yourself, because that's what we do. Jamaica's a place where there's no problem. There's no problem when you make a problem. Do you understand? Apart from that, there's no problem, you know? No problem. There's no problem.
I wish you guys all the best. It just sounds like a dream come true. And just seamlessly as well. You just literally lifted up a house from the UK and planted it in Jamaica.
That's exactly what we've done.
Everyone's just getting on with it.
That's exactly, but it's a bigger space. It's a bigger house, you know. Because remember, space in the UK is limited, you know. So it's a bigger house, you know. And I mean, I'm happy, and I always give thanks to the high and mighty God that He's given me the courage to do that, because it's having courage. Otherwise, I'll be sitting in the UK now and thinking, man, kids going back next week, what am I going to do with them? Money's tight. But over here, I can sit down and think, I might have a lot of money, but they could go swimming. We could drive out to the beach and just pack our food, pack our lunch down there, pack our drinks in our igloo, and just chill out at the beach.
Just chill, pick something off the tree. Yeah.
We've got, where we are, the mangoes, in mango season, they drop on we've got about 5 mango trees in the complex. Do you understand? So it's just, you know, in Jamaica, it's the best move. I mean, I could be in the UK now, and you know, it's probably when it's cold, and I'm thinking, kids on me saying, "What do we do today? What should we do today? Oh, I've been home all day." You know, and everything you do has got to be inside because it's too cold. You know.
Yeah, just Lock up in a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So might go cinema, might go theatre. There's cinemas here, there's theatres here, there's lots of stuff you could do here. It's on and on. It's on and on. And it's strange because even the parents, like there's places in Kingston that I go to have. When you go there, you see people the same age as your parents out there enjoying themselves in a bar, and it's fascinating. It's just great to see.
Everyone's just really living life, So Jamaica, no problem, Peter.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you say that again?
Thumbs up. Jamaica, no problem.
One more time.
Jamaica, no problem.
You can't get rid of this British accent.
I can't, can I? Yeah. Food.
So yeah, live it up in the meantime. Wish you all the best for the new year.
I will. All right, thank you very much, and see you soon. Yeah?
Thanks, Peter. Thank you for listening to The Home and
Bye.
the Way Show. We'll be back soon with more from the series. If you would like to comment, suggest a topic, or be a guest on the show, send an email to radio@michelledmore.com.
Oh la 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 la. Bamba. Oh la 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 la. Bamba. Oh la 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 la. Bamba. Oh la 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 la. Big it up. Oh la 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 la. Big it up. Oh la 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 la. Bamba. Bamba 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 mi de. Bamba 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 mi de. Bamba 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 mi de. Bamba 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 mi de. Bamba bamba It's a New York.